Okay, so congratulations on the great reviews you had from last night.
Oh, it was lovely.
Yeah.
They've always been very good to me there in Brighton. And I didn't expect that many people. I was there last year, and one of the shows sold out, and then the venue that I was in wasn't available for a second show, so they put me in a really old theater there a second night, but ended up being the first night. Kind of complicated, but follow me. So it was nice to be back in the larger venue and they're just fun. I don't know if it's they drink more or they just don't care. They are a lovely group of people.
That's a great combination, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's basically my life.
And how's the tour going in general? Because you're just starting in the UK now, aren't you?
Yes. Well, I started the tour earlier this year in February. I was in Australia and in Asia. And then I had some time off to go to the West End to do a musical called Everybody's Talking About Jamie. And once I completed that, I had about a week home in Los Angeles to gather my thoughts and my bags. And then we hit the road. So it was a random one-off in Provincetown, Massachusetts. Big gay destination in America. And then it was South Africa, Canada, and then I did Europe, and then now I'm in the UK. And so I'm out until early December in the US and Canada for the rest of the dates.
So you're basically covering like the entire world pretty much.
I'm hitting them hard. Harder than hurricane season. Yeah, I'm going.
And how do they compare? I mean, is that too broad a question to ask? I mean, all these different countries. Does it seem like a different audience?
No, I always say it's the same. They 3 drinks for me, 3 drinks for them, and they're laughing at the same thing. So it is interesting, but also I'm a specific type, I would say. I mean, you don't walk down the street, see a picture of me and say, oh, let's go see that show. Usually they've done their homework. Usually they've seen me from Drag Race, or usually they've watched a YouTube video. So they kind of find you out. So I think they're ready and willing to listen to whatever shit I have to say.
And as someone who hasn't seen your show yet, what would I expect from your show? What can I expect from it?
Well, do you have a soul? Oh, you're gonna lose it. No, I think despite the fact that it's all this clownery, it's just honesty, because I think everything that you can relate to and everything that's honest is really what makes comedy what it is. Some of the best jokes are the truest situations. So yeah, and also just, have an open mind and laugh. And the reason why I call this show It's Just a Joke is because I think that globally we've lost our sense of humor, or we're so depressed with our regular everyday lives between Brexit and Donald Trump and Theresa May dancing that all of that can really make you sad. So you need something to laugh at.
Yeah, I mean,
you have to. Yeah.
You don't laugh, you'll cry. That's what they say.
Completely.
And how do you cope on the road? I mean, it sounds like you haven't really been home. Is the road home for you now?
Yeah, but I think I kind of like that. I've been fortunate enough with the schedule with each year that it gets a little more trunked. So if I know I'm out for 3 months, it's great. It's hardest to do this type of show with like one show here and have a week off because the momentum's gone for me mentally, and it's just getting back on track. So I'm best for myself when it's back to back and go, go, go. But then, come on, the best part about it is I get to travel the world. As I always say, I get to spread my hate to the masses. And this is what I signed up for. I would sound like a big asshole if I complained. I mean, this is what I've always wanted to do. So if I said, well, I don't like, then that's just pathetic. There's people with far harder jobs than mine. So I have to be grateful for the whole situation.
And do you have any pre-show rituals, anything that you do, like a routine that you do before you go on stage?
Yeah, drink.
3 drinks, did you say?
Drink. 3 drinks to get started. Obviously, I have 3 drinks before I do this makeup. I mean, look at it. Yeah, I mean, I have my own little formula, and the way that everything works out for me is, you get to the venue at a certain time in the afternoon, and then you have a meet and greet, which is where you have 150 to 200 people that you're meeting and taking photos with, which most people despise. It works out great for me because I'm meeting them before the show. So usually they're the first, say, 6 to 10 rows of the audience. So what's fabulous is I get to see who's there, who's fun, who's not fun, who's there with the mother-in-law, who's there who's got kids, who hates the boyfriend, who broke up but they still had the tickets. So all of that works out well for me for the show. And then once that's done, I go backstage and I have about an hour before I go on, because we have a supporting act, as they call it here. We call it opening act in America. But we have a supporting act, and during that time I just go over my notes and then change into what other clown outfit I'm going to wear. And then I get a few minutes, about 15 minutes before I go on, where I do this thing where I pace behind the curtain just to kind of get into my head and go, okay, this is what city you're in, this is what's about to happen, that kind of stuff. And then with each night I think I ease in 2 or 3 conscious new jokes that I'm testing out, and everything else just kind of happens. So, you work away. So that's why it's best for me back to back to back. Because then you're like, ooh, I could do that tomorrow. Or, ooh, that was good, try that again. You know, the momentum makes it better.
I love that you suss out the audience before you go on. That's
the best
so
thing.
good.
Yeah, because usually they would do the meet and greets after the show, which is horrible because by then they're drunk, I'm sweaty, everybody's over it, and then you've got 100 people to greet. So it's great to meet them in the beginning because they're a little timid and scared of me, mainly because of the lighting. And you get to know them in the nervous state, which is fun. And then when you get on stage, you're like, there they are, there they are. And I also do a question and answer segment with the audience after. So I get an opportunity to be nasty and hateful to them publicly, which they enjoy.
And we're talking about Drag Race before. I mean, do you get sick about being asked about Drag Race?
Completely. Not that I get sick of it. Obviously, it's a part of my life, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. But I haven't kept up with every twist and turn of every episode. I mean, I'm old. There's too many of those bitches. I can't tell who's who anymore. They all look alike. They all got the same wig. So it's difficult. It becomes a pop quiz anytime someone asks me, because I'm always like, which season was she? Maybe, I don't know. I mean, there's over 200 of them now, I think, at this point. That's a lot of queens to keep up with.
But it's like a massive surge in Drag Race and drag queens.
Yeah.
Do you see? Why do you think that is?
I think reality television and social media has a huge part of it. And not to say that it's not influential. I think that a lot of people enjoy it so much, but they're not doing it because they enjoy watching it. I think that they're fascinated by the fact it's the first time that you get to see drag queens in their natural habitat. You know, they find out that we are men. Well, some are men that just do this for fun. Some people, well, you know, are trans, and this is their way of expressing themselves, and drag was the vehicle to get you there. Also, some people just want to make money because they're out-of-work actors. So I think it just kind of showed this human side of it, which has fascinated so many people. But everything is at our fingertips now. I mean, never did I think I would be, you know, here in London doing an interview. I never thought that I would be doing a show in Brighton. I never thought I'd be in South Africa, you know, but people can find you now with this social media, which is insane. It's beneficial in many ways, but if you get wrapped up in it, it can really make you crazy.
But yeah, I mean, drag in general is becoming more mainstream, isn't it? I mean, my friend who's a teacher was saying that he has learned this about this initiative where you can bring drag queens into schools and they can read to kids.
Yes.
I mean, what do you think about that? That's obviously amazing to kind of start that from a young age.
Well, being a clown, I mean, I love doing kids' birthday parties. That's how I made my money before Drag Race. On an occasion, I dressed up like a piñata. But I think it's fine. I think it's just all about acceptance. It's like when people say, oh, you shouldn't talk about drag to children. Well, whatever. If it doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work for you. But the thing is, when your child grows up, drag queens will be here. So it is part of the world. So either you teach them young or they'll find out later, you know, or they become one. Ha, ha, ha. Talk about ruin your dreams.
Yeah, they're all ready and waiting in the rings.
Completely. And anytime they see a show that's successful and people that are influential to them, you know, whether it's RuPaul or anybody that's on the show, of course it lights a fire in you going, hey, I can do that. So what's wrong with it? You're not hurting anybody. Go have fun.
And I have to ask you, your makeup, I mean, it's always impeccable. How long does your makeup routine take?
Well, it varies. It varies. Because like if I'm doing a photo shoot or something like, you know, fancy, I might take an extra, more than an hour. But usually it's about an hour. And when I was doing Jamie the Musical, the show, the way that worked out, I had to be in drag. I had to be a man for the first part of the show and then get in drag in 19 minutes. So it's capable. It's possible to get in drag in 19 minutes, although I don't encourage it. But there was lots of distance in that theater, so that helped me.
And finally, do you think we could have an all-star Brexit negotiation? Do you think we should get drag queens in to sort out Brexit? Because it's an absolute nightmare and someone has to sort it out.
Have you seen our country? Yeah, I think why not? I mean, listen, I said this recently the other night when, you know, we're talking about America, we elected who we elected. So we're not much better than your Brexit situation. And what's fascinating, I thought if you wanted a second-rate reality star that looks like a clown with orange hair, you could have got me. Because I know as much as he knows about being president. At least I'm liked by some.
But just a drag queen invasion in general, wouldn't it? If you just kind of in both those
Yes!
houses.
I think that you need drag queens and Judge Judy. I think they don't play. They would make it all happen. They don't want to hear your shit and they'll change the world.
Excellent. That's perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.